Hey there, it's Chris Cantore sitting here at the original, the first Rubio's restaurant, well, with the man, Mr. Ralph Rubio. This is cool.
Chris, good to see you, man.
Great seeing you, Ralph. And how long has it been?
It's been 28 years, over 28 years since we opened this Rubio's.
28.
Number one.
Holy cow.
I know, it's been great.
And how are things today?
Things are great. You know, it's like, I know it sounds a bit cliche, but I was thinking about this the other day. It's really the journey and not the destination, you know, because we could have been sitting here 20 years ago.
Which we probably did.
Probably did.
Right.
And you asked me the same question, I would have said, Chris, it's going great. And it truly was. And you asked me today, you know, so many years later, and yeah, it's going great. It's just different. But it's exciting, you know, growing a company.
Yeah.
It's just the adventure just continues. So.
Now, when you started 28 years ago, you had the one restaurant here.
This
correct?
one, yes.
What was your second location?
Then the second one opened 3 years later at San Diego State.
That's what I thought.
My alma mater.
Which is mine too, and that
Right.
was my first Rubio's experience. And for a while, I actually thought that was the first Rubio's.
Right, a lot of people did.
3 years later.
Yes.
And what made you want to get into that area? Just the fact that it was your alma mater at the time?
When my dad and I started Rubio's, the intention was always to have more than one.
Right.
We wanted to have a chain of restaurants. And so, you know, we could make one work, a prototype, and we could scale it. And
Right.
so once we accomplished number 2, then we felt we were on our way. We had 2 successful restaurants. Then the third one was back in PV because this one was so busy. We opened one down on Grand Avenue.
Okay.
And then we just started to expand primarily around the beach. You know, Point Loma was our fourth.
Same one that's still on Grand now?
Oh yeah, it's still
Same
there.
place.
Same location. We try to keep them. I mean, especially if they're doing well. You know, we've been here, gosh, 28 years. Others could be here another 20 years.
Sure. And how many restaurants today do you have?
200.
Wow.
Yeah.
Seriously?
200 restaurants.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Well, see, in my world, it's this spot and the one in PV and Grand and San Diego
Yeah, a lot of
State.
people, a lot of
3.
San Diegans don't realize we're that big.
Wow, 200. That's nuts.
Yeah, we're in 5 states.
Okay, now what states?
As far east as Denver.
Okay.
And we're in Nevada, we're in Arizona big, but we have probably almost 25 restaurants between Phoenix
Really?
and Tucson. And then we're in Utah, and we're in Salt Lake City. So,
And what's the fervor like in these other markets and these other states? Is it
you
the
know,
same as San Diego?
No,
or
it
is
isn't.
No.
And that's kind of a challenge for Rubio's, you know, as we expand the brand, you know, how do you develop that cult following almost, you know,
Right.
for Rubio's. And so we're figuring it out, you know, we're getting better at it. But, I mean, I would love to have Rubio's on the East Coast.
Yeah, that was my next question, because I have, especially these days, so many former San Diegans are moving back east, a lot moving into the city even, and I hear all the time, you always hear, oh, there's no Mexican food or anything like it back east. And I always wondered, how would Rubio's do in, say, New York City?
I think it would do great.
Me too.
We go to New York about once a year, we hang out in Manhattan, and
At least
there's
the
nothing
airport.
like Rubio's.
There's nothing.
Rubio's is so different. You know, there's a lot of Mexican restaurants. You know, you got your Chipotle's, your Qdobas, your Baja Fresh. But what Rubio's does, you know, the fish tacos and seafood, shrimp burritos, and Langostino lobster. I mean, we're very unique brand. And so I think that, to your point, there's no one doing what we're doing anywhere else. So, you know, we should try to take advantage of it.
Now, when it comes to the food, has there been a shift recently? Or I know you've introduced the original fit. Something's different. I don't know how to explain it, but I've been seriously eating Rubio's since the San Diego State days in the 80s, and I'm eating it now and saying, wow, see, it tastes different. I don't know if it reminds me we're back in the, what's different?
Well, I mean, with the fish taco, 5 years ago, we went to a pre-battered product thinking it'd be more consistent. We're opening more restaurants.
Okay.
And while it was good, it wasn't as good as the original recipe where we hand batter each fish taco in the kitchen.
And that's what's different. You
That's
brought
what's
that back.
different.
Okay, because seriously, it's a
It's
pronounced
better.
difference.
I agree.
Absolutely.
I'm totally with you. And the other things, you know, the brand has evolved. I mean, we have salads on the menu now. We sell a lot of salads. We've added grilled maki-maki and grilled
Also, we
salmon.
all the time. All
Yeah,
the grilled
so
stuff,
you know,
the health mix.
people are looking for healthier, you know, offerings, especially in Mexican food, and so we can do that. We've got whole grain tortillas. I mean, so we've really made an effort, you know, to offer, you know, fresher, lighter fare, and I think that really distinguishes Rubio's from other brands.
Okay, take me to the day when you said to yourself, I'm going to do this. Take me back to 28 years ago. The idea, how it all happened. Seriously.
Okay, well,
I'm interested.
Okay, it wasn't just it all didn't happen in one day. It was kind of an evolution. So I came down here to go to San Diego State,
Right.
and I really started getting my first job in the restaurant business as a busboy at the old spaghetti factory now.
No way, I
So
worked there too.
You worked there?
Yes,
Oh, spaghetti
absolutely.
factory.
Absolutely.
What year were you
The
there?
trolley, I was there in 1988, 89.
Oh, wow.
88, 89, maybe a couple of years
A young
after.
guy like you, know,
Young
I was
guy.
long gone. No,
Young
seriously.
guy.
I was there from 73 to like 76.
Yeah, see, I was late
I
80s.
was way
Mid to
before
late
you.
80s. But
So-
I worked at the Spaghetti Factory and I worked at SeaWorld.
Oh, okay.
I did the thing on getting the SeaWorld crap off the benches with a grout knife. Seriously.
See, SeaWorld would have been good for me, you know, seafood, fish, all that.
So you did the old spaghetti. Where were you from originally? Where'd you come down?
I grew up in LA.
Oh, me too. Where?
Okay, I Carson, South Bay guy.
Okay.
So I came down here to go to state. Started working old spaghetti factory, busting tables, and I waited tables. And then while I was doing that, I was going to state, and then went down to San Felipe in Baja for spring break as
Sure.
a freshman.
As we all
Discovered
did.
fish tacos.
As we all did.
Fell in love with fish tacos, and so we go back year after year. Well, one time when I was down there, it occurred to me that someone should open a fish taco restaurant in San Diego because they're so delicious.
Right.
And so that was kind of the idea, and then I always wanted to own my own business. You know, my dad encouraged me to be an entrepreneur. I'm the oldest of 5.
Were you a business major at state at the
I
time?
was, but then I kind of ditched my business classes early on because I just didn't find
Too
them that
hard.
compelling, and they got in the way of surfing and going
That's
to the
my
beach.
point, exactly.
So
You got
I
my way.
became a liberal studies major.
Hey, that was mine. We have so much in common. I was a liberal studies option
That's
3.
great.
I got the English in there, creative writing, some film classes.
Wow,
I was
see?
good to go.
And it all worked out.
It
for
all
both of
worked
us.
out.
So I was a psychology emphasis because I really enjoyed my psych classes. And
there was-
Spanish minor.
And a lot of girls took the psych classes.
That's
too.
true. That is very true. So, and I was on the 5-year plan. I was
That was the 5-year plan. I got it.
So I had this restaurant experience. I had this idea to serve fish tacos. So I graduated, continued to wait tables. I worked for the Hungry Hunter, and then I went to the Harbor House restaurants in Seaport Village, got some management experience. And then in 1982, my dad and I decided we're going to do this restaurant. And my dad had traveled. He's from Mexico. And he traveled Baja, so he knew what a fish taco was. So he financed Rubios. I mean, I didn't have a penny to my name really because I was, broke
college,
waiter.
whatever.
And so we became partners, and he said, find a location. So this was an old Orange Julius.
Really?
And then it converted to a Mickey's Burgers, and it was a failing hamburger stand when we took it over.
Okay. And
we bought out the lease for $15,000.
Wow.
Cash. and then we were
Can't find
offering-
those deals today.
No, so my brothers and my sister were working here. My mom and my dad. It was a really family business. We only had one paid employee in 1983 when we started.
And today, is the family still involved?
No, not everyone's kind of gone off and done their
Right.
own thing.
Well, you got me as a fan for life, and I appreciate what you do, and thank you for your time around.
Chris, enjoy it, man.
Amazing.
Good talking to you.
Awesome. All right, brother. Go.